Hey everyone, Danny Wood here. I am doing it a little bit different format. Normally I'm all set up in the kitchen, but today I have to do a lot of typing and working, and it's easier for me to have this computer on my lap and type than it is in the kitchen with the way it has to be set up. So today's session is all about Canva, which is absolutely free, but there's a huge but. There's always a pro version or a paid version, and in this case, it is worth it. If you're going to use the free version, you're so close to you might as well use the paid version because all the extra features that you get in the paid version, um, they really are worth it. So I'll run through quickly what, first of all, Canva, it allows you to create and design your marketing templates. It allows you to create and design your any marketing you do for social media, your blog, your website. If you need to create a YouTube thumbnail or a video thumbnail, if you have to create Instagram story or a Facebook story, if you're creating a buyer checklist or a seller checklist, like pretty much anything you need to create. I used to have a subscription for Adobe, and I did everything in Adobe Illustrator because that's what I went to school for, and it was very expensive every month. And it's a very technical program, and most realtors wouldn't have the capacity or care to want to learn something new like that. So Canva, however, I love it and I hate it. Because it's so simple, I love it. And because it's so simple, I hate it at times because there's some things that I just can't do on Canva that I would be able to do on like a normal full-fledged design program. But take those couple scenarios away, and then Canva always wins because it's just so much simpler for you. You could have your admin, your assistant, your team have access, that sort of thing. So, okay, let me show you some of the templates that I have been working on. I'll open up this one right here. So this is a sample of just sold card. And you see the green grass with the blue sky? What's neat about Canva is once you have your template created, so here's a template that I created, I'm going to go to uploads and I'll look for a photo of a house. Okay, so here's a photo of a house. So if I just drag this over and drop it onto the green, it instantly crops it and puts it into the frame. So I don't have to like, because sometimes your photos are different sizes, right? And then you'd want a photo of yourself. So I'm going to go to logos, look for a picture of me, drag it and drop it onto the phone frame. And then I would want another photo of the property. Oops. So let's just say this is the kitchen. You know what I mean? So you can drag and drop and add your photos. If this was me giving you a template, which I will give everybody this template. So when I give you this template, it'll say thinking of selling, text sold to 905 903. Well, obviously that's not your cell number. So you're going to click on the text, double click, and then just change it to whatever your phone number is. This is clearly not your logo, right? So you're going to hit on the logo, delete it. Now there's a great big old empty space, and you're going to load your logo. So let's just say this one's your logo. So I'm going to drag it. Whoops. Resize it. And bingo, bango. Something like that. I would actually probably put this lower. And I don't know, I would spruce this up to have something else in the space above. But, oh, I'd probably use a QR code, actually. So I will use a QR code. So I'm actually going to delete this photo because I'm going to put a QR code down here. And I'm going to click on this little button right here. It says QR code. And you'll just type in the address to, so this is a thinking of selling direct mail. So obviously it's like a just sold type of card. So the audience that you're trying to connect with is sellers. So you would put your website, www.site, whatever your site is, .com / whatever your selling page is. So market report, free house value, like I don't know what your page is, but you would just put that page. So I'm going to put seller. And it automatically created a QR code. Now, I love the simplicity of how it's built in. All I have to do is put the link and hit generate code, and then it automatically puts it on the page. Now, the one fault that I find with this is that it won't track how many people actually scanned that QR code. And that's kind of a problem. I mean, it really isn't. I use this free QR code thing all the time. But if you want to track it, they do have apps that you can add. So I was playing with this one. It's called me.qr. Well, let's see if they got it. No, see, it's not working still. So me.qr is free. It's a free QR code builder, and it has a plugin for Canva, which I loved the price, and I loved that it had a plugin, but my QR codes aren't showing up here. So I created a support ticket to tell them and figure that out. But if they ever do get it working, then it would be awesome, because this me.qr actually does track your QR codes and how many people are scanning it. So say you sent out a monthly newsletter, direct mail to 1,000 people or 2,000, whatever, a bigger number, you probably would want to track that QR code. Or if you had a QR code on your for sale sign, that would be a good one to track. Pretty much all QR codes are good to track, but it's not a deal breaker. If I can't track it, I don't care. I already know people are going to be scanning it. It's just kind of like a fun fact, something fun to know of are people scanning it. So anyways, Canva has this free version right here. It's just QR code. And then if this me.qr works in the future, then you could add the plugin. I'll show you how to add plugins after. I'm going to undo these changes because I don't want them saved. Okay, so that's the front of the card. This is the back of the card. It says, thinking of buying a home. Get a free list of homes for sale that match your criteria. Your logo, your photo down here, your contact info. Now, what's the size of this? If I hit resize, it's going to show me that this is in inches. It's 8.5 by 5.5, basically. But let's say you're talking to your printer, and they're like, "Oh no, our postcards are whatever 10 by 7." I can hit this copy and resize button, and it's going to make the new shape with the same design. That saves so much time. Like, let's say I really like this for whatever reason, but I want to make an Instagram post instead. Well, I could just scroll down here and choose the 1080 by 1080. If you don't know the sizes, you could Google search, like I would just Google search Instagram, Instagram's post size, and it'll like tell you that it's 1080 by 1080. So obviously if they're telling you it's in pixels, then you'll want to change this to pixels so that you can actually type out 1080. If you're working in inches or centimeters, you can change. So generally, if a company is telling you how big their, like how big your YouTube thumbnail has to be, how big your Facebook story is, they're always telling you in pixels. So just change it to pixel, and then you'll enter in whatever the number is. But we do this all the time because I'm always having to make content for both Instagram, which is a square, story post, which is like a portrait, and then Facebook, which is a rectangle. And it's a pain in the butt to have to like recreate all that. But not with Canva. I absolutely love this resize feature. And actually, I'll do that. I'm going to resize this, which this is not something I would. Yeah, I'm not going to resize this one. Actually, I'll resize a different one. So I'm going to go back. So one of the cool things, I'm gonna just create a new design, and you can create custom search, but you can see like Instagram post, it's a square, so we'll do that. It's already like verbally telling you, and you can kind of search. So say I wanted to make a YouTube thumbnail, and it instantly comes up with the sizes. Instagram story, type Instagram story, and it's 1080 by 1920. Instagram post. So I'm going to do that one, Instagram post. So one of the cool features, I'll do upload. All right, I'm actually going to use this one because this kind of works. So watch this. I'm going to just add a custom shape behind her so that you can see something. Position, send back. All right, so see the photo that she sent me, how it's got this big white box? Well, what if I didn't want that white box? What if I just wanted her? With Canva, it has this really cool option where you can click edit option. And this is part of the paid version as well, the background remover. So I'm going to hit background remover. It is not normally this long. Definitely not this long. Anyways, what's supposed to be happening is all of this white box is going to disappear, and then I would be able to see this red box behind her. And we see this all the time in marketing where the realtor's photo is cropped out and they're at the bottom of this of whatever the content is. And they're like standing in front of the listing or whatever. And it's not them actually standing in front of the listing. It's just this is ridiculous. I'm going to try a different photo. All right, here, let's take this girl. Okay, so let's try and hit edit image, background remover. It must be because I'm on Zoom, because it is normally like a 4-second process. And what should happen is all of this gray area would disappear and it would leave just the woman in the middle. Anyways, this is a poor demo of showing how it works because it's not actually working at the moment, but it does work. I mean, I use it all the time and it works really, really well. So that background remover is absolutely awesome. When it works and you're not doing it in front of an audience, of course. One of the other key benefits to the paid version versus the free version is, look, I'm going to go to Elements, and I'm going to type in for sale signs. So let's just say I'm creating a poster. So see how it comes up with all of these elements. See the crown at the bottom? And when I hover over it, it says Pro, Pro, Pro. So all of these Pro versions, you have to be using the paid Pro account. And coincidentally, all of the good stuff has the Pro version crown on it. So like, I really like this for sale sign. I have used this one on so much of our marketing. In fact, one of the templates I'm going to show you today is using this. And but the free version, if you're like, oh man, I really want a for sale sign, it's like you're stuck with this one. I mean, you can change the color to your branding, kind of. But you can see how the paid one, the pro version one, is just obviously so much cleaner and sharper and nicer. And then the same thing for photos. So if I go to photos and I want to search, I don't know why, I'm just going to search real estate and see what pops up. See how there are photos that have the pro version. It just limits, like this is a good photo for a background image. I could definitely see myself using this as a background for something, except for except for the green water. Disgusting. But anyways, let's say I was going to use this image and I wanted it in the background. Center. No, actually I wouldn't center it off. Okay, like that. So if I was wanting this in the background, I'm going to go position. I'm going to hit back, so it's in the background. And then I actually would hit the edit image button. And you can do like Instagram filters on your images. In this case, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drop the saturation to make it black and white. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'm going to desaturate the, or reduce the transparency. So it's like a 10 or something. So this isn't like a shining example, but I do this a lot where I'll put an image in the background, I'll desaturate it, and then I'll reduce its transparency to like a 10 so that it just adds a little bit of a pop. There's a little, if I just delete that, like boring, right? So a lot of the times, if I have a lot of negative space, I'll even sometimes add, for a photo, I can search abstract background. I do this a lot too. So here, like this one looks good, kind of good. Edit image, drop the saturation down, drop the transparency down. And for that one, I actually would probably leave it at 20 and then put it in the bag. And I would probably lower that transparency a bit more. But it just like adds like this weird little like subtle flair to whatever it is that you're creating. So I do that all the time and I like doing that. The other thing is when you use the pro version, so I'll go back to elements and I'm going to search like quote. So this one's pretty good, but look, it's got the pro version icon. And so you're kind of stuck. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I do. Sometimes I'm a cheater. So I'll show you why I'm a cheater though. Okay, so here's the pro version of this quote box that they're giving us. Now look, if I want to resize it, that's fine. But let's just say I want this quote box to go all the way left to right, but I don't want it to take up, watch, if I go all the way left to right, watch how much room it's going to take top to bottom. This is the halfway mark of my image. I do not want my quote box to take up this much room. I would way rather if this bottom half was up a bit, but I can't change that. The only thing I can change is this. Okay, so what is my hack or cheat? Let me show you what it is. I will do something like this. I basically recreate the item that they have, only I'm going to make it the actual size that I need. And then, so I got like a big long line. So I'm going to search line. And I want the basic one. And I want it thicker. And I want to duplicate that. So when you're clicking on an object, you can hit this duplicate button and it adds it. And now I want it to go up like this. So let's just say we like this, which I would probably still like do some more lining up. Maybe go like there. Okay. So say I like this for whatever reason. Then I highlight all of it and I will group all of it. Then I can duplicate this. And then I want to rotate it. Oops. So now this one goes, if I wanted it to go left to right, it takes up the whole screen, or like it goes down to the halfway point, which I don't want. So the one I just recreated, which is basically the same thing as what we were just looking at, I put this here. Tighten it up. So see how it doesn't go all the way down here? So I use a lot of the object items that they give us. I'll just look at it and then I'll break it down into components and say, okay, so it's really just a quote box with a line, and then I'll recreate it. And the reason why I do that is because it gives me so much more freedom where I can actually like change the colors. Say I wanted it to be red. Uh, There. So say I wanted it to be red. So with theirs, the Pro version one, I would be able to change the colors, but remember, I wasn't able to change the aspect ratio. Whatever they created is what I'm stuck with working with. And what I'm saying is you don't have to be stuck. You can just recreate the little itty bitty elements that you like and use it that way. So anyways, the Pro version is good because a lot of the elements are done for you and for the most part, like good to go. Okay, one of the things I want to show you about color. So say I wanted to change this color to red, but this red and this red are not my company branding. I use a different color red, right? So if that's the case, what you can do is you hit this add new color, click on this color picker, and anything that, like say I was the red of the Zoom, or I'm the red of the Pinterest logo, or I'm the red of my LastPass little icon. I just click on it and it makes it that exact red. So if I zoom in now, you can see how the red that Canva gave me by default is not the same red as my actual branding itself. And that works with logos as well. So say I had a logo, Jason, I'll just use Jason here. Okay, so say I wanted the red of this. So I'm going to click on the object, change the color, click the add, use the little eyedropper, and then go down to his logo. And now whatever the template is that I'm creating, I know will 100% match Jason's branding. It does allow you to create animations as well. So I'm going to add some text. They already have like cool fonts already written out here. Or you can just add a text box. And I'm going to say video test. Okay, I'm going to make that big and I'll make this 100. What I do like about Canva is that it automatically shows you these guidelines of when things are centered. So I'm like, boom, boom. Okay, that's centered. All right. So I'm going to highlight all of that. And then I'm going to move that to the center. Boom, boom. And let's animate this. So I'm going to click on the animate button and we'll just try pop. See how it adds different like animations to the content that you just created. So in theory, if you wanted, you could turn this still image into like a story post, for example, and you could make a little movie. Not that this is a movie, this isn't. It just adds animation. So this is it particularly where I use this the most and pretty much only time is when I'm creating an Instagram story or a Facebook story, and I just don't want the image to be blank, like static. I want it to have some form of movement. So this is kind of a cool one. A lot of them are kind of garbage, to be honest. I really just use this pop one the most. I kind of like the way that works. And then there's Stomp. There, I like the Stomp one. So watch, I'm going to hover the mouse over Stomp. And it kind of like throws the text and makes the rest of the stuff jump. I don't know. Subtle, sleek, pretty cool. So I love that. So I'm gonna use Stomp. Okay. And then let's say you want to save this image, which I know you don't. This is a really bad image, but I'm just showing you the examples here. Okay, so say I like this image and I wanted to use this in my thing. So if I want to make a video, I can see a preview of it and I can download that video right here, and then I'd then be able to upload it wherever I want to. Or if I don't want the video version, I can just hit share, hit download, and it defaults to the video because we added that stomp animation. But if I don't want that, then I'll just change it to JPEG or PNG. JPEG for social media. I can change the size. For whatever reason, the quality is diminished. Like, why would I ever do that? Just always make it 100% and then hit download. Okay, so using this as a tool to build the animation is pretty cool. I think actually, I think that video animation part is also part of the paid version, which is why you might want to consider it. The other thing is that it allows you to export. I really wish that photo thing was working. Let me try that again. Hold on. Photo. All right, getting this girl back. Edit image. Actually, I know. I will do it with my logo anyways. Okay, forget her. She's not working for me. Delete all. So I'm going to add my logo here, and I want to show you something. So look, logo, we'll do this one. Okay, so it looks like it's a white background, right? If I go and hit share and hit download and do JPEG, no, I'm gonna have to do PNG. So when I change it to the PNG, it gives me the option to have a transparent background. Because if I don't check off this little transparent background, what's going to happen is going to save my logo with this big white box. Which, okay, here's an example of where that's bad. Say in your email signature, you have your logo, and on your logo, you use this with the big white box. Well, what's going to happen is anybody who's using their phone or a tablet in dark mode, which is a majority of people these days, they're actually using like a really dark gray background. So now your really nice looking logo has this big ugly white box. It just totally like looks clunky and not elegant. Whereas if I was to just download this with the transparent background, it wouldn't have any of this white. All that would be in the file would be the actual logo itself and none of the white. It's hard to visualize because, I mean, we're looking at a big white box, but anyways, when it actually saves, that big white box is gone and all that is saved in the file is this. I am going to show you an example of something. Hold on a second. Copy, paste, and then I will add a square. All right, so this is common. We would see this a lot. So you have your logo with a white box behind it for some reason. I'm going to group this. And then I'm going to add another box. I'm going to make this a really light gray so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So this is how your logo would look in the email signature, basically. You'd have your logo with this big white box. But what looks better? That or this? Your logo with no white box behind it. Obviously, your logo with no white box behind it looks better. So if you don't want these big, ugly, like white boxes or whatever color box behind your logo, then when you are exporting things in Canva, you want to make sure that you choose download, that you choose ping, and that you choose transparent background. All right, so transparent background, check. There is a brand manager tool as well, which I like in the paid version. So down here under company logos, I actually have my photos, my logo. I have different logos for different reasons, and I could upload a bunch here. And I like how it's built into every design that I'm working with. I've got quick, easy access to like, oh, I need my Dan logo. I can just drag and drop. So I like that feature as well. So for all of those reasons, the fact that the main one is that you can design one thing and have it reshape from a story to a post to a square to a rectangle, and at the press of a button, you can just magically recreate things. For that alone, I feel like it's worth it. The crop an image out, I still don't understand why that's not working for you right now. Yeah, I'm not even going to try any longer than that. But anyways, it would basically when I hit that crop photo, it would cut out this hedge, the brick behind me, the gated fence thing. All of that would be cut out, and all that would remain would be me, cut out like a superhero. And then I can drag and drop that wherever I want. So those two features are probably the main reason. And then, the other one is all of the elements. So anything that you search for, the free version is okay, but the paid version is amazing. It has so much, including stock photography. If I search keys, let's just search keys. Yeah, so see the pro version icon on a bunch of the good ones. And then like, okay, so look at the pro version. Looks nice and like pro. And then the free version is like, oh, here's the worst looking key that we found for you. So this one's free. So that's why the pro version really is kind of worth it for those three reasons alone. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the templates that we have been working on. It'll be under projects. There we go. Okay, here's one that we're working on right now. It says, picture yourself moving. So this is a Instagram post as a seasonal, so we're in the fall, so here we go here. So this is a seasonal reminder of like who you are and what you do. And you would obviously drag and drop your photo in the middle here. You would change your name and phone number, and then you would post this on Instagram. And it's just a gentle touch reminder of who you are and what you do. And then once the first sign of snowfall hits or whatever, if it snows in your area, then use this post, right? And then in the spring, in the new year, it's like 3 months later, here's another post. And then the summer hits, here's another post. So we are creating templates for people that, like in this example, it's a seasonal post, one for each time of the year. Now, okay, remember about the custom resize. So say I'm like, oh man, I'm so happy with all this. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Check, check, check. Okay, it's done. Now I'm going to resize this, and I'm going to do an Instagram story. So I'm going to resize this image, and I will copy and resize it. So it resized it, but it obviously added all this like dumb white bars. So I'm going to have to modify it a bit. So I'm going to take this image and stretch it all the way. Like that. You know what? No. I would actually make the photo of me bigger. Boom. All right. Something like that. Okay. So because I like the positioning, I'm going to copy this, paste, and you'll see how it resized it and put it where I wanted it. Now I'm going to take this photo too, copy that, paste. I'm going to send this to the background. And the reason I did that is because I want to line up this new photo with it. Resize. All right, I'm going to copy that photo again, do the same thing here. First of all, delete. Here's an example. See in the background, these like leaves or whatever, if I click on it and hit the little transparency, you'll see I brought it from a transparency down to 6. But look, when I actually upload the image, that's what it looked like. Too much. But I do this all the time where I just like subtly want something just to kill this like little dead white zone. I want to like fill it in. Um, so I did the same thing here with the, right, I'm going to delete, 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 delete. I want the copy, paste, copy, paste. like that. There. So there, I got 4 simple story posts now. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep. So I got 4 simple story posts that it didn't take me a half hour to recreate the whole thing from scratch. You know what I mean? I just like modified the elements to fit the new canvas size, the new size of the space that we're working with. So anyways, I absolutely love the ability to change like a square to a rectangle and a rectangle to a story post and a story post to a whatever else you need. I love that resize thing. I use that literally all the time. Photo frames, those are super cool. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to add a new page. And if you go to elements and then type in photo frame, hold on. I'll just scroll down. Okay, so I'll just scroll down. It's easier. If you scroll down, there's a little frames option, and then you hit see all. What's cool about frames is here. I'll add this one here. So see how it's a circle. If I add any photo, I'll use whatever this one here. So I'm going to drag and drop this into the circle. See how it instantly cut and cropped the circle? Pretty cool. Okay, so except for that was basic, and you're like, why would I ever do that? So here, let me do another example. Phone frame. Oh, Shab, can we mute whoever that is?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's not what I'm looking for. If I go back to frames. Here's a good one. Perfect. Computer. Okay, so I'm going to put this computer up at the top. And now I'll add my photo just because add me. See how I don't like the way it crops off my head and whatever. I just don't like the way it's cropping. So if I double click, I can actually modify and put things where I want. So I'd say like that. Boom. But now look, I got this like cute little computer, which is hard for you to see that it's a computer. But there's other photo frames as well. Let me do the phone one. I do the phone one a lot. Yeah, this one. All right, phone one, and I'll do my image. Looks pretty good. Look how clever that looks. Like this could be a part of my marketing where I have like my face up here and then a red box. So I'll type in rectangle. Put that behind, position backwards. Perfect. I want it to be the same color as my shirt for whatever reason. I'm just going to do that to show you how to do this again. I'm like, oh, I want it the same purple as my shirt. And I'm going to lower that. Actually, you know what? I would go with a complementary color to the purple. So I would probably add like a yellow. Yeah. And then have it come out of the logo. Lined up with the logo. And I want to add a call to action where I'd be like, text sold to my cell. There. Not, I mean, I would obviously keep playing this when I'm not like with you guys just staring at me being all nitpicky, but you can see how like, I don't know, you could use that on just sold. You could use that on some other form of marketing. But I love the frames, these photo frames. I use that one we just did with the picture yourself moving, had a Polaroid. And oh, actually, okay, so that was an example of they didn't have what I wanted, so I had to create it. So I went to Elements and I searched Polaroid frame. So I looked for a Polaroid frame. I liked the one that had the tape on it. So I click on that. But look, this big box, if I drag my photo onto it, I don't think it'll do anything. Watch. Oh, yeah, it didn't. It just adds my photo to it. So then I'd be like, most of you, what you would do is you would do this and then like resize it, which in this example, it kind of works, but not really. So what I actually did do is I used the two pieces. I used the one that they gave me for the Polaroid itself, and then I went to Elements and I went to scroll down and I went to the frames and I just looked for a regular square. Yeah. Put that on top of it, selected both and grouped them. And now I have the ability that I could just like add whatever photo and it crops to the size that I need. So the reason I did that, creating the template for you guys is because you have different shapes and size photos. If I said, hey, send me a photo of your headshot, you would be astonished at the different shapes and sizes that you guys would send me. They're all over the map. Some are squares, some are rectangles, some are who knows. And so I do this all the time where I take one element, like this Polaroid photo, and then I take another element of the photo frame box itself, and then I put them together. Speaking of working with multiple things, this is a big problem that people have. So let's just say you've got your logo. We'll put that, I'm going to put that to the top and just off to the left a bit, okay? And then you've got like some other logo, so I'm going to put like some other thing here, and I'll put that directly in the middle. And then I've got me at the bottom. That'll make me small. Okay, so see how everything is kind of just like all over the place? If I hit Control All, or another way is just to literally select everything. So if I select everything, this little position tool, you'll see evenly spaced. I could try and hit tidy up to see what happens. That actually did exactly what I wanted it to do, which is nice. But I want to do this one, horizontal. No, sorry, vertical. And I want them centered. So it takes whatever the elements are and then redistributes them so that you have a much cleaner layout. It's like you don't have to guess. I know these are center and I know they're equally spaced. Like if I put this down just a bit, that's not equally spaced. It's not directly in the middle. So if I highlight all of them and then do the positioning, if I do evenly spaced vertical, it's going to move my logo up to the middle. Watch, I'll hit vertical. See how the logo jumped up to the middle? It's because it took between this point and it put it directly in the middle. It's such a simple tool for when you're designing things and laying out things that you want things equally spaced. So I use that. People don't use that enough, to be honest. This little position tool, and that allows you to align things, or the position tool that allows you to like evenly spread things out. I literally do every time I design something. My designs are always based on balance. And so I use this all the time. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you some of the designs that we created. Another one we made was this. It's where when you have a buyer who's looking in a specific area. So, okay, first of all, this is a shining example of everything that I've shown you so far. Look at the background. This like, I'm going to delete it so you can see the difference. Okay, see how that image looked with nothing in the background? It was just white. Or watch now when I undo deleting. It just adds this like little bit of subtle, like, to me, it just like really fills in the void. It's not competing, it's not distracting. It's, if I actually click on it and hit the transparency, you'll see I dropped whatever this was. This is what it looked like when I added it to the page. Disgusting. So instead, drop the transparency down to something that makes sense. How I found that, by the way, was I went to photos and I literally typed in paper. And I wanted, like, whatever, I'll just use this one. Oh, this is the one that I used. Okay, so then whoopsies. I resized it. I took the transparency down to like 20, whatever, and I put it in the background. And then it just filled in the gap. It just looks so good. Okay, so that's one thing I did. The other thing you'll notice is everything is equally spaced. Like if you like take a bird's eye view and look at this, the QR code lines up with me. I line up with the logo, my logo. The top of the text box lines up with the top of this box. The left side of this text box lines up with the left side of this box here. The QR code is the same size. If I zoom in, you'll see the QR code, the whiteness lines up with the blueness. Like everything's just like lined up and evenly distributed and spaced out. Here I use the pro version of that for sale sign. We have the map of where we're door knocking. So this is a letter of if we have a buyer who's specifically looking in a certain area, we'll put the map. So let me, do I do this? Yeah, I'll do this. Okay, I'm going to go to Google Maps. All right, so here's a picture of a rental property that I have. I'll just do a screenshot here. So I'm going to take you would take a screenshot of the map that you're doing, and then you would go to Canva. Here you go. You would go to Canva and then go to photos or upload, and you would upload the screenshot that you just took. And then once that screenshot is uploaded, you can see I uploaded mine here. Then you can just literally drag it and drop it, and it will crop it out. So let's just use this one so you can see the difference. Drag it and drop it. So if I was door knocking 6 streets today, I would have 6 stacks of paper, one for each area, one map for each area. People tune into what's in it for them. So and we read left to right, top to bottom in North America. It's just kind of like where your eye is first starts. And so because of that, I put the map, and I don't like this map, so I'm going to double click and I'm going to zoom in a bit, make it bigger, and hit done. So people tune into what's in it for them. So if this was left on their doorstep, there's a chance that they would actually pick it up and have an interest because they'd be like, oh, why is there a map of my street? And it's big and bold. We're looking for a home. I'm looking for a property in North Oshawa, clients of Dan Wood. The story says, I'm looking to buy a property in the North Oshawa area, is what my client has told me. My name is Danny Wood, and my clients are specifically looking to purchase the next property that goes up for sale in the North Osh. I would actually be specific and say like the actual pocket that they're in. I'm a real estate salesperson at blah blah blah. My phone number is blah blah blah, and you put all your info. And if you go door knocking with this letter and you actually have a buyer who really is looking in that area, you would be surprised at how many leads you get. And I'm going to stop sharing and come back to the camera here. And so my story would sound like this. So I would knock on the door. As soon as they open the door, I would take 2 steps back to create breathing room and trust. And I'd be like, hey, I don't suspect that you're thinking of moving or not, but we really want in this area. And I pull out the map and I start tapping on it. Now, because I'm tapping on this piece of paper, they're not looking at me anymore. They're not listening to me anymore. So I clap it, I cover it. I'm like, no, this is for you to keep in case you think of anybody after you steer me away. We're just being really proactive. We absolutely want in this area. So like, can you just steer me off in another direction? Do you know anybody in this area that's thinking of moving next? And just stop talking. And you're giving them permission to get rid of you. And the conversation that opens up the can of worms of like, oh my God, go talk to Steve. They're they're blowing up and oh man, we're thinking of moving. Like I never once had a bad story, a bad example. And I ended up buying 2 houses privately myself. I ended up getting listings out of it because people would be like, oh yeah, we're thinking of moving, we're going to sell, and I would get listing appointments from it. So using that letter is awesome. So Canva really is a blank canvas until you start hacking away at it and playing with it. And I kind of showed you some of the higher level features. I didn't show you like some the basic stuff, I guess. But the basic stuff is just that. It's basic. It is like fail forward. If you need to add a photo, you'll do it. That was a really bad ending. Anyways, yeah, okay, so here's how I'm going to end this. So there's 2 scenarios. One is, dude, I love what you just showed me, and I'm going to create all my own templates. So let me show you how to find templates that you can create and edit on your own. So if you go to Google, I'm going to type in Canva real estate, Canva real estate templates. So if I click on that and find this link right here, canva.com. So if I click on this, here is a whole bunch of templates that are primarily already done. So say you're like, oh, I really like this one. Which one? This, by the way, is the #1 stock photography house. How often have you seen that photo? It's in 3 of these alone. 4 of these. Here's another one. Jeez. All right, so let's just say you like this one for whatever reason. I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to customize it. And now all the hard work is done, and you just have to like delete that photo, add your photo. So let me do uploads, pretend it's this listing here, drag and drop, okay, drag and drop, okay, drag and drop. And then obviously I would edit all the info and there you go. So if you're the type of person that you like, oh yeah, I can edit my own stuff and create my own stuff, then do that. Search real estate templates on Canva and see if you like any of them. Now, I can tell you that they're not going to be as like refined as the ones that we're about to launch. So I've asked 10 agents. I said, hey, if I can get 10 real estate agents to each chip in $60, that would give us $600 a month to play with. And what if we took that 600 and hired graphic designers to start creating us content? They'll make us the templates that we want. And it gives you a lot more buying power because you're only paying $60 in, but you're getting $600 worth of time and effort and process. And we got more than 10 people, which is awesome. So if any of you are interested in like getting the templates that we create going forward, I'll share a screen to show you the type of templates that we're working on. Okay, so here's a list of what the agents have told us that they want so far. So I'm just going to slowly creep through this. And the cool thing about these 10 agents, I think we're at 15 now, about these agents is that now they're almost like an army for me, and they're taking screenshots and sending me examples of ones that they like. Like this one's really cool. Not that I like the layout or anything, but I love that it breaks down for this specific property, the price, the down payment, the interest, the monthly payments. Like I love how they have a little mortgage calculator. And this would have just been one of 6 images. One of the images was of the house, of the condo, I guess. Another image was of like the pool and the facility. And then the last image was this one that just has the mortgage breakdown. I really like that. That was cool. This was an example of what stood out to me on this one was the white frame framing the city or something that's very prominent in her city or town. So like if you were in Toronto, you would put the CN Tower type of deal. I like the concept of that. So anyways, now we have an army of agents that are taking screenshots of things. Not that we're like, oh, we're going to like completely rip off Angela here, but it does give us inspiration and ideas of like, oh, that is a good idea to have a photo of the agent with a quote of them. Now, how can we recreate that as a template that everybody can use? So if any of you have an interest, comment that you're interested. And if you are, then I'll follow up. Can an animation be saved and used in an email or text? Yes, the animation could. You'd have to save it as a GIF. I don't know if you could do that directly in Canva. Let me try. Oh, Shiab, can we take the list of who was on the call today before we hang up, please? I'm going to follow up with people. Okay, you wanted to make an animation. So here, I'll make this one animate. So let's animate, and I'll do stomp. Whatever, I'll do this one, sure. Okay, share, download, GIF. Oh, you can. Boom, easy peasy. I didn't know you could. So the answer is yeah, you can make that and you could add it into your email and it would have the animations playing automatically. I do that. Let me go to my email. I actually made one. If I hit compose, make it bigger. See my email signature, how it's got that like animation? That was made in Canva. Actually, I forgot that I did that. And then I just saved it as a GIF and adding the GIF to your email signature. And now I have this looped little video with no audio that's always playing. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Yes, please, interested. Does the QR code that you show us, do we just put it in our website as the address to save it? I will re-show you. Let me do screen share. Go back to one of the templates. Which one? This one. Okay, fine. So I'm going to add a page. And then I'm going to click on the QR code button here. So this is the one that's built into Canva. This is the one that I would use. It's easy peasy, guarantee it works. You just can't track. That's the only problem. If you want to track your QR codes, the other option is to go to me-QR create an account there. You can create the QR codes there and download them and then upload them to Canva. At some point, apparently, they'll be loaded in here, but it's legit not working for me. So anyways, at least it's free and you can track. Now, if you don't want to go through that hassle and you're like, I don't really care, just use the free one here, QR code. And yes, you would put www. whatever your website is.com. So I'll put Brokerage Nation, generate code.
Now, do you save that for each particular project? Because I think the first one that you showed us, you put /house or something, or /.
Oh, right. So some QR codes I would save to use over and over and over again, like the QR code for your seller page, the QR code for your buyer page. On my for sale sign, I wouldn't have a QR code to the specific listing because then you would have to get a new for sale sign for every listing.
Right.
So for that case, what I would do is on my website, I would have a featured listings page that has all of my listings featured, and then the QR code would link to that page because that page is always the same link and it just gets updated with whatever your listings are.
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, that answered the last question. I do have to get on my next call. I'm now 11 minutes past my next call. So Canva, play with the free version. Just get the free version, try and create a couple things. If you want any of the templates that I showed you today, just send me a text message and I'll give you a direct link so that you can play with each one on their own. If you want to buy into that program, the $60 program, and get all the templates that are being created for everybody going forward, then send me a text as well. I'll put my text in the chat. And actually, it's on my name here, 905-903-5442. Send me a text message and I'll get you a copy of the templates that we made so far just to see that you even like them. And if you do, then yeah, you can buy in. It's $60 a month. And if you are like month 2 realizing that you don't like them, you don't use them, then cancel. It's not a contract or anything. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. And Mary is interested, and Kelly is interested. I'm gonna take a picture. Actually, can you grab the chat as well, Chiab, and then we'll bounce.
Yeah, sure. But there are some guys that are using unknown names like iPhone 268 or
Right. Yeah. I get that.
owner.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yep. Fair enough. Thanks for the heads up. Awesome, everybody. Okay, so Canva, really good tool. It's absolutely free. The paid version is definitely worth it, in my opinion. And you can create all sorts of content. And I would love to see the things that you do create. So when you make something on Canva, even just take a screenshot or a picture with your phone, send it to me, and then I can give you suggestions and feedback of like, oh, that's great, but include this or tidy that up or whatever, because I'm pretty good at designing things when I take time to do it. So, okay, we're going to end off on this one. The recording will be ready Monday, Tuesday-ish, and then I'll be emailing all of you to let you know the next date, time, and topic. And I look forward to seeing you all. Bye.
Hey, if you want to close more real estate transactions, get more buyer leads, and get more seller leads, click this button right here. It'll take you to our real estate group coaching page. Also, if you like this video and want more, you can subscribe by pressing this, or you can check out some of my past videos here. Enjoy!